Ohio gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of a Major League Baseball game. How you doing, everybody? It's Fred Beetler here, and we are going to be doing the call tonight for you. And this is going to be the third game of the series between the Orix Buffaloes and the Chiba Lotte Marines. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a minute with today's starting lineups. We're glad you could be here with us. Welcome back, everybody. Just a couple of disclaimers for us. It is Last Raps Baseball's game tonight featuring the Orix Buffaloes and the Chiba Lotte Marines. The views and commentaries are our opinions and are not affiliated with the NPB, their Players Association, or their sponsors. We're providing live reports on the game being played in hope that English-speaking audiences around the globe on YouTube and Twitch can enjoy the call along with us. So tonight we're going to give you the starting lineups first for the visitors for the Chiba Lotte Marines. And it has been some changes in Chiba's lineup as they are down 0-2 here in the series. And so leading off and playing in left field wearing number 0 is Takashi Ogino. Batting second and making his first start of the playoffs in center field, number 63 is Koshiro Wada. Batting third and playing second base wearing number 8 is Shogo Nakamura. In the cleanup spot, and playing first base wearing number 54 is Brandon Laird. Batting fifth in right field wearing number 3 is Kitsuya Kakunaka. Batting sixth and doing the designated hitting wearing number 79 is Leonis Martin. Batting seventh and playing shortstop wearing number 55 is Edney Hechavarria. Batting eighth and playing third base wearing number 4 is Yudai Fujioka. And batting ninth and doing the catching wearing number 99 is Yasuda Kakanuma. And so Kakanuma also getting his first start of the playoffs, as is Kakanaka and Wada. And they're going to be facing the left-hander, Soichiro Yamazaki, for the Orix Buffaloes. He was 2-2 this year. He pitched 39 innings, allowed 32 hits, 16 runs, 16 earned runs, 20 walks, and 29 strikeouts, and posted a 3.69 earned run average. We will give you the starting lineups for the Orix Buffaloes before they come to bat. But defensively for them tonight, we'll give you the outfield first from left to right. It is Aranhel Rivero in left. The center fielder is Shuhei Fukuda. And the right fielder is Yataro Sugimoto. Around the horn from first to third, you've got T. Okada at first. At second, you've got Ryoichi Adachi. The shortstop is Kotaro Kobayashi. And the third baseman is Yuma Mune. Behind the plate is Kenya Wakatsuki as he gets the start tonight, as he was the starter in the first game of this series. And on the mound now for the Buffaloes is Yamazaki. He is completing his warm-up tosses. And we're about ready to get this one underway in just a couple of moments. It was slated for a top of the hour, 1 o'clock first pitch. 1 o'clock Pacific time where we're at. But it would be 6 o'clock local time first pitch, but they are a little bit behind on the schedule. He is just completing his tosses, and we are about ready to get this one underway. They are playing at the Kisara Dome. The attendance for the first two nights at the Kisara Dome has been just shy of 18,000 fans. And again, tonight, that is what we are looking at for an attendance, as the restrictions are still in place. If the Orix Buffaloes are able to get on, it appears that the first two games of the Japan series will be played at the Kisara Dome. But it also looks like the last two games of the series will be played in Kobe. And so here we go. Here we're underway. And the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball that misses up and in. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. So Takashi Ojino gets things going here for Chiba. He's 4 for 16 in the playoffs. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball, and it's waved at by Ojino, and the count is 1-1. Ojino 4 for 16. He has a stolen base. So here comes the 1-1 pitch from the right-hander Yamazaki. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Camping out underneath it is the right fielder Sugimoto, and he's going to haul that one in for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. And that is going to bring up the center fielder Kishiro Wada. 3 changes in the starting lineup tonight for the Chiba Lotte Marines. As well, they have shuffled the lineup a bit as Leonis Martin, who's been in the number 2 spot, has been dropped down to the 6 hole. So here comes Wada to the plate. Right-hander against the left-hander, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yamazaki back to work. He delivers a fastball, and that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes even to 1-1. Wada is replacing Hiromi Oka in center field tonight. He swings at a fastball and misses, and the count goes to 1-2. Oka has struggled. He did get his first hit of the playoffs last night, but he has sat down going 1 for 12 in his playoffs this year. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and Wada swings at it and fouls it away over on the third base side. And the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wada. Yamazaki gets ready to go back to work. He rocks into the windup. He kicks and delivers, and it's a fastball swung on. It's lifted softly into center field. Moving in on it is the center fielder Fukuda. He's going to put it away for out number 2. And that is going to leave it all up to Shogo Nakamura. The Chiba Lotte Marines have been shut out in the first 2 games of this series. And it was 18 innings in a row that they have not scored a run. The pitching and the defense for the Orix Buffaloes has just been a little bit better, and there's a fastball delivered to Nakamura taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch to Nakamura. It's a split finger pitch that misses low and away, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nakamura. Nakamura in these playoffs is 4 for 15. He's got a walk and a stolen base. And there's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1. Should Nakamura reach base, he'll be followed by the first baseman Brandon Laird. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Yamazaki. It's a fastball that misses up and in. And the count now runs to 3-1 on Nakamura. Yamazaki now ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that runs just in under the hands of the second baseman Nakamura, and the count is now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yamazaki ready to go back to work. He works from the windup, kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and it is grounded through the 6 hole into left field. And Shogo Nakamura is aboard with a base hit single with 2 out here in the first inning. That's going to bring up the first baseman Brandon Laird. For Brandon Laird in these playoffs, he has struggled. He is 2 for 14. He's got a couple RBIs. Laird last night had a base hit in his first at-bat, and he had a 10 at-bat stretch without getting a hit. He had the hit in the first at-bat of the playoffs, and then he had been bone dry. And they seem to like to attack him initially low and away, and then they like to come up and in on him. That's the way they've been pitching him through this first 2 games of this one. And the first pitch is a breaking ball down and away. So that trend continues. The count is 1-0 to Laird. If they can get ahead in the count, then they like to come back and usually bring it up and in. And specifically to Laird, more so than anybody else, it's a little different the way they attack him. And there is a split finger pitch that is swung on and missed. And the count now is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Laird. Yamazaki leans in. He gets his sign from Wakatsuki. He comes set at the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. And the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike to Brandon Laird. So Laird batting from the right side. Waits on the delivery from Yamazaki, and that is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Laird gets himself back in the box. He's ready to go again. Yamazaki this time flips over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Nakamura. Nakamura is a threat to steal. He's got 1 stolen base in these playoffs. He can run a little bit. Not quite as much as he used to. His legs are not the same as they were in his younger years, but he still can get around pretty good. Here's the pitch to Brandon Laird, and that pitch is swung on, and it is lifted up behind home plate. Moving back on it is the catcher, and that is Wakatsuki, but he's going to watch it sail into the seats. And that is going to keep the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Laird. There's 2 away here in the top of the first inning. Yamazaki holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs. And that runs the count to 3-2 to Laird. We took a look at that one on the replay, and I got to tell you, that pitch looked pretty good from our angle. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. The runner is going to be on the move. Once Yamazaki goes to the plate. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on, and this one is also pop foul, straight back behind home plate. So Laird is definitely on time with the pitch. You can usually tell when the hitters are fouling the ball straight back, they are on time. They're just haven't yet been able to drive the ball yet. So here we go back to the live action. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Laird. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And Laird is retired on strikes for out number 3 here in the first inning. So for Chiba, they had no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are through a half inning in Osaka. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines. Nothing. The Orix Buffaloes coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call at the bottom of the first inning. We're glad you could be here with us. Thanks for stopping in tonight.
Are you into digital cards? Last Wraps Baseball has you covered as we do daily Top Spun Digital 21 card breaks. This new wave of collecting allows baseball fans to collect digital cards and compete against each other for prizes. Check out our daily breaks and send us a trade to Last Wraps. Be sure to tell your friends.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to give you the starting lineups right now for the Orix Buffalo. Their batting order is leading off, and in center field will be Shuhei Fukuda. Batting second, wearing number 6, is the third baseman Yuma Mune. Batting third and doing the designated hitting is number 34, Masataka Yoshida. In the cleanup spot is the right fielder wearing number 99, Yataro Sugimoto. Batting fifth at first base wearing number 55 is T. Okada. Batting sixth and playing second base wearing number 3 is Ryoichi Adachi. Batting seventh and in left field wearing number 42 is Rangel Rivero. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is number 24 Kotaro Kobayashi. And doing the catching is number 2 Kenya Wakatsuki. And they are going to face the right-hander Daiki Iwashita. Iwashita takes to the hill sporting an 8-8 record. He had 120 innings pitched, 110 hits allowed. All 59 runs that he allowed this year were earned. He walked 46 and struck out 87, and he had a 4.43 earned run average. So he is taking over on the mound to begin the night for the Marines here in the first inning. And so Shuhei Fukuda comes to bat. Fukuda in the series is 1 for 8. And he is in the top spot here. And the first pitch for him is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. Fukuda has been able to put the ball in play, but it hasn't been able to find a spot. He hit the ball hard in the first game of this series, a couple of flyouts to center field. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Fukuda. The Orix Buffaloes have been just slightly better offensively than the Marines in this series. They've scored 3 runs in their 16 innings of batting. And there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. 1 run in the first inning of the first game, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto was enough for him to go the distance. You take care of the shutout. There's a fastball that misses down and away. Count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. So Iwashita back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner. And the count now runs to 3-2 on Fukuda. And of course, last night, another solid pitching performance with some help from the bullpen. Allowed Orix to close that game out. And a 2-run homer by Sugimoto. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted to right field. Moving over is the right fielder Kakanaka. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Fukuda. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the third baseman Yuma Mune. For Yuma Mune on the series, he is 1 for 7. He's also drawn a walk, but he's made some sparkling plays defensively. Mune, in his first full season and getting an opportunity to play regular for the Buffaloes, it really paid off for him this year. And here's the first pitch fastball that just misses low. And the count is 1-0. Here in the bottom of the first inning, let's see, nothing ball game. Here's the pitch to Mune, and it's a curveball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. Thinking of last night's game, Mune had to make a couple of backhand plays and come across the diamond. He also made some plays that were heads up where he had caught a line drive and then tried to double the runner off of first. Here's a ball that's tapped to the second baseman, Nakamura. He charges. He picks it up. He fires to first. And Mune is going to be retired. That goes as a ground out, 4-3 for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away, and that is going to leave it all up to Masataka Yoshida. Yoshida last night did the damage literally. He hit a line drive that came right back to Manabu Mima and hit him in the leg, and that knocked him out of the ball game. And the very next batter, Sugimoto, welcomed the reliever Azuma into the game with a 2-run homer. And so here's the first pitch to Yoshida. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into deep left field. Moving back on it is the left fielder, Ogino. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it for the Orix Buffaloes in their half of the first inning. So they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are moving to the top of the second inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines, nothing. The Orix Buffaloes, nothing. Stick around. Everybody will be back for inning number 2 in just a couple of moments. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher, supporter of our channel, and we support his. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in a minute.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the batting order for Chiba to face the right-hander Sachiro Yamazaki. The first pitch delivered to Ketsuya Kakanuma is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. This is Kakanuma's first start of the playoffs. He is 0 for 2 thus far. He's seen some pinch hitting roles and defensive roles. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. Kakanaka batting from the left side. He's got a very interesting stance, very, very wide. He really sinks himself on his backside. He stays low to the ground. Here comes the pitch. It's a split finger pitch that misses down and away. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. One of the 3 changes in the starting lineup tonight for the Chiba Lotte Marines as they're looking to stay alive here in the playoffs. And here comes the pitch from Yamazaki, and it's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to reach the seats on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2. The other 2 starters, Koshiro Wada and Yasuda Kakanuma, are making their first starts of the playoffs. And there's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded through the 6-hole into left field past the outstretched arms of the shortstop Kirbiashi. And Kakanuma is aboard with a base hit here to lead off the second inning. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Leonis Martin. Leonis Martin has been dropped down in the batting order, as he is 2 for 14 in the playoffs. He's got 1 homer and 1 run batted in, but his bat has been cold. So the changes in the lineup, not just personnel, but also structurally for the Marines, as they got to find some sort of combination to get things going. So here's the first pitch to Martin. It's a fastball that misses outside. And the count is 1-0. Leonis Martin had a solid campaign again for the Chiba Lotte Marines. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball, and that one misses also low, and the count is 2-0. Although his batting average did tail off as the season went on. He had batted .233, but he did have 27 homers and 75 runs batted in. But as the season progressed, it really tailed off for him. And we've noted in the playoffs, he does not look like he's running very well. He's getting the start at designated hitter, as opposed to playing right field, but he does not look like he is moving well around the bases. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-1. Against the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, he had one of his 2 hits in the playoffs has been a double. And he made it an adventure, a ball that probably should have been a stand-up double. He really struggled getting into second base. So he's battling some niggling injuries here in the playoffs. So here comes the 2-1 pitch from Yamazaki. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 2-2. Despite the lack of mobility, it's hard not to keep his bat out of the lineup. We noted Ahmad Jenkins came in earlier. Thanks for being here, and hopefully you're still with us on this stream. There's not a lot of shifting in the Japanese game compared to the North American game, and there's a fastball swung on it. It is lifted to right field. Coming in on it is the right fielder Sugimoto. He makes the catch. That is going to retire Martin from the first out of the inning, but he hit the ball right on the screws. And Kakanaka has to return to first base. So one away, and that brings up the shortstop, Edney Hechavarria. For Hechavarria, he's had an outstanding playoff so far. He is 5 for 10. He's got a home run and an RBI. He's also played some sparkling defense for the Marines. In game 1 of this series, if you get a chance to go to the Pacific League Instagram account, you can see the highlight. He slid backhand side into the 6 hole, and from his backside threw out Rio Adachi at first base. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. But Hechavarria, not known for his bat, has been swinging well. He had a double in last night's game. And now he asks for time and steps out of the batter's box, and we're ready to get this one going all over again. So here comes the 1-0 to Hechavarria. Yamazaki kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled straight back. And the count is 1-1. Hechavarria spent parts of 9 seasons across the major leagues. He began his career in the Toronto Blue Jays organization. Blue Jays were always high on his glove. Nobody was really high on his bat. Here's the pitch from Yamazaki. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball's driven into deep right center field. Moving back in front of the warning track is the right fielder Sugimoto. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Hechavarria for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to Yudai Fujioka. For Fujioka on the playoff portion of the season, he is 3 for 11. He got the original nod to start at shortstop in the first game of the playoffs for the Marines against the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, and then he shifted over to third, and it's been the Edney Hechavarria show ever since. And there's a fastball that misses just off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Fujioka bats from the left side. He faces the right-handed slants of Yamazaki. And it's a fastball that misses outside. And the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Yamazaki gets the sign from his catcher, Wakatsuki. He comes set at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on it. It is lifted into left field. Moving back on it is Ravello, and he's going to make the catch as he backpedals to the warning track. And that is going to do it for the Chiba Lotte Marines in their half of the second inning. So for Chiba, they had no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are through 1.5 innings. It's the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing, the Tohoku, or the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call at the bottom of the second inning. After this, here's our friend Matt.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right. if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Be sure after the game to go check out Matt Hollis's channel. That's another Hollis build. He's a supporter of ours, and in turn, we like to support Matt. Be sure to check out his channel when you get an opportunity. We'll be right back after these tunes for the call of the bottom of the second inning. We're right back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the Orix batting order to begin the bottom of the second inning. That means it's going to be Yataro Sugimoto, T. Okada, and Ryochi Adachi to face the right-handed slant serve Daiki Iwashita as we get ready to get this one back underway. And the first pitch to Sugimoto is a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. I will say that the umpire tonight is a little bit more stingier than what we've seen. So here we go. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside. The count is 2-0. So I'm not sure what our friend is typing into the chat, but something to do with Chiba. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. Yoshida kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. So far in this series, Chiba has been shut out for now 20 consecutive innings as the Buffaloes are batting here in their half of the bottom of the second, and the pitch is a fastball, and that is taken for a called strike. Well, that pitch didn't look any different than a couple of the other pitches in this at-bat. So it's now 3-1 to Sugimoto. I've worked a number of these games this year and have yet to see a ejection. And certainly the players, they're very animated when they don't like the calls, and there is a breaking ball that is waved at and missed by Sugimoto, and that runs the count full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We welcome those of you in the chat. We'll get to you in just a moment. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. And Sugimoto is retired for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up T. Okada. So it depends on what country you're in where you can watch the games. Obviously, there are games that are available in Japan. I'm not sure if you're in North America or where you're at. And I don't know if it's Makoko, Garkovo. Not 100% sure. We have Naya Kalawea, hopefully I've said that name correctly, also in the house tonight. We want to welcome you guys back. I know Naya was here last night. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and first pitch to T. Okada is a ball, and it's 1-0. For T. Okada, he is 2 for 7 in the playoffs. And he's also drawn himself a walk, and there is a fastball swung on and missed. The count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Okada. Iwashita, ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a split-fingered pitch swung on and missed. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Both Sugimoto, Okada, and even Yoshida, that 3-4-5 part of the batting order has been very dangerous. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It missed. And Okada goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. He looks back at the umpire to see if that pitch would have been a strike had he not swung, and he does get confirmation and acknowledgement that that would have caught the inside corner. So now with 2 away, that brings Ryoichi Adachi to the plate. Adachi was on the wrong side of a highlight in Game 1 when Edney Hechavarria went into the 6th hole to make a fantastic play. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Naia says he's watching from Maui in Hawaii. I'm not sure where you're at in Maui, but it's a great place. I've been there a couple of times. I've stayed in Kihei. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. I typically try to go down, or I shouldn't say that. That's not totally true. And I've been to Maui twice for the Maui Classic for the basketball tournament. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into center field. Moving over to his left is the center fielder Wada. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here in the second inning. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes to continue our chat with the chat. But for the Orix Buffaloes in their half of the second inning, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 2 complete. It's Chiba nothing, Orix nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back at the top of the third inning in just a couple moments. We're glad you could be with us. Here's our friend Steve again, Steve Rademacher. Check out his channel after the game. Let him know he sent you.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Thanks again, Steve. We appreciate you and your support. And leading off here in the third inning for Chiba is the catcher, Yasuda Kakanuma. Takes the first pitch fastball for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. I'm not sure if Makoko is still here. And he was asking, he's in the USA, so he's wondering where he could watch the game. I know for some of the season, or at least last year, there's a fastball that swung on and missed, and the count is 1-1. DAZN had carried things for the Americans. And here is the 1-1 pitch, and Yamazaki delivers a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 2-1. But I'm not sure how DAZN operates, or if they have an agreement still with the Pacific League. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and it's a fastball, and this ball is popped up in the infield. Converging on it is the first baseman, T. Okada. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Kakanuma for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That is going to bring up the top of the order, Takashi Ojino. And Makoko also says he's got Orix. He loves their jerseys. And the way these games have been going, I would have to think that there's not going to be a lot of runs scored. Both teams are squeezing the bats. And here's a fastball delivered that's taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Ojino. Ojino tonight flew out to right field his first time up. He is 0 for 1, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1. Ogino is 4 for 17 now in the series. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball, and that's taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count now goes to 1-2 to Ogino. One thing I'll say about Takashi Ogino is in the leadoff spot, he's never afraid to hit with 2 strikes. And here's the pitch from Yamazaki. It's a split finger pitch that misses down and away. And the count is now 2-2. El Taquito says he has the Swallows 1.5 and Orix. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's a fastball, and this is swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side. And the count remains at 2-2. Should there be a 4th game in this series, we will call it again tomorrow night, same time, same place. Obviously, we're going to have to wait to see what the outcome is. Chiba needs to win this game. And here comes the 2-2. It's a fastball that misses upstairs to Ogino, and the count now runs to 3-2. And if this game is the final one, then we will be looking at the Japan series. That'll start sometime next week. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle. It is off the glove of the second baseman, Adachi, but that is going to be a base hit for Ogino. He's got himself a 1-out single here in the 3rd inning. That is going to bring up the center fielder, Kashiro Wada. As we mentioned earlier, Wada getting his first start of the series. Hiroki Oka had his struggles in the series Hiromi Oka had some struggles in the series as he was 1 for 12. Got his first hit last night. So Wada batting from the left side. And the first pitch to Wada is a fastball swung on. This is lifted into deep left field. Ravello is going to watch it get down. It's up against the wall. He fields it on one hop barehanded. He fires it back in. Ogino gets into third base safely. And Wada is aboard with a double. And he has rewarded his manager with the decision to put him into the ball game. And the Chiba Lotte Marines have something going here in the top half of the 3rd inning. That is going to bring up Shogo Nakamura to the plate, and with a base open, curious to see if they're going to pitch to him, if they're going to put him on to set up a potential double play with Brandon Laird coming to the plate. And they do have a visit on the mound to the Buffaloes. The pitching coaches come out to talk to the right-hander Yamazaki. It's kind of funny. Makoko says he's been making bank on unders for Japanese baseball and the over for Chinese basketball. Not sure who's still playing in China. I know some of the Americans have been over there. There was Marbury was over for a bit. Don't know who else is making their home there these days. So here we are back to the live action, and the first pitch to Nakamura is a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count is 1-0. Nakamura tonight is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. He's 5 for 16 now in the series or in the playoffs, not just this series. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into left field. It might be deep enough to get the run in. Ravello makes the catch. Here's the throw, and it is cut off by the shortstop, Kiribayashi. He turns and fires to the plate, and finally, the Chiba Lotte Marines are on the board here in the 3rd inning of the 3rd game as they take the lead 1-0. So a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Nakamura, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Brandon Laird. The base runner, Wada, had to stay at second base. He couldn't advance as the cutoff came in by the shortstop. I see Naya says that he's played some CBA earlier and also is looking at Beijing and Jindao. So with 2 away, Brandon Laird steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. And here's the pitch from Yamazaki. It is a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We're glad for everybody to be joining us tonight. We do have some regulars who do pop on through the stream. There is a split finger pitch down in the dirt. Laird checks his swing. The umpire at first says he doesn't go. It's going to make the count at 2-0. It was a good block by the catcher Wakatsuki, who kept it in front and kept the base runner Wana from advancing to third. So 2 balls and no strikes. Laird digs in. He's ready to go again. And here comes the pitch from the right-hander Yamazaki. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And that's going to make the count now 2-1. For Brandon Laird, he's made Japan his home. Over the last number of seasons, he's made a career playing in the Japanese League. He is 34 years old now. He's originally from Cypress, California. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 3-1. He was originally drafted by the New York Yankees. He is the younger brother to Gerald Laird, who had a lengthy career in Major League Baseball. I remember Laird most with the Texas Rangers and the Detroit Tigers when I think of him. This Laird, he had time with the Yankees and Houston organizations, and then he finished off with Washington before coming overseas. And there's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is now 3-2. He began his NPB career back in 2015 with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. He spent 4 years with them, and this is now his 3rd season with Chiba. One would think that he's probably going to earn himself another contract, even though he's 33 years old. It looks like he still has enough game. And here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch, waved at and tap foul behind home plate. And the count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ready to go back to work. I've got the second baseman almost standing right behind the bag. Laird, the right-handed hitter. Adachi is tucked in there close so that Wada can't get a huge lead. Here's the pitch from Yamazaki, and he spikes it into the ground. And that is going to be ball 4, and Brandon Laird is aboard with a walk here with 2 away in the 3rd inning, and that's going to bring up the right fielder Katsuya Kakanaka. So Kakanaka tonight, who was inserted into the starting lineup, he had a couple of pinch hit appearances. He was 0 for 2 entering tonight's game, and he rewarded his manager with a base hit. He is 1 for 1. He got things going back to lead off the 2nd inning. And again, they're out to visit the pitcher Yamazaki, and it looks like this might be it. 59 pitches. And that is going to do it. So we're going to have a pitching change as Orix is going to the bullpen. They have seen enough 59 pitches in 2 2/3 innings. We're going to get you that change in just a couple of moments. We'll be back with that. Stick with us, everybody. Hold tight. Welcome back, everybody. The Buffaloes are going to the bullpen. We're going to give you the update here in just a moment, but 59 pitches for the right-hander Yamazaki. His line is not completed yet, as he does have runners on first and second that are his responsibility. It is going to be Katsuya Kakanaka coming to bat. He is the 5-hole hitter, but they are going to a left-hander. And so we are going to update you that here as soon as we get the information. The left-hander that is coming into the game for the Buffaloes. This is Toyama. So we have Ryoga Tomiyama coming into the game. He is replacing the right-handed starter. A few of the specs on him is he's pitched in 51 ball games. He had 2 wins and 1 loss this year. 46 1/3 innings. Posted a 2.72 ERA. So, handed pitcher coming into the ballgame. A little peculiar on that change. Why? Maybe they were making the change now because Kakanaka is coming to the plate, but Kakanaka is a left-handed stick, so they will go lefty against the lefty here. So that does it for Yamazaki. So Tomiyama into the game. He's completed his warm-up tosses, and now we're ready to resume the action. So here comes the first pitch to Kakanaka. Apologies sometimes as I'm reading here. There's a fastball that is missed upstairs, and the count is 1-0. I have to be conscious of the names, even though there's slight differences. Kakanaka batting here, and then there's Kakanuma doing the catching for Chiba. Kakanaka is 1 for 3 in the playoffs. And he got his first hit in the last inning to lead off the second. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's delivered, and it's a fastball that spins the batter Kakanaka around in the plate as that almost hit him. The count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. The lefty, Tomiyama, looks in. He gets the sign from his catcher. He holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Looming on deck is the designated hitter, Leonis Martin. There's nothing more that drives you crazy as a manager is when you bring in a reliever, you need your relievers to throw strikes. I've got 3-0 here, but the count on the board says 2-1. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul. So they may have appealed one of those pitches, and there was a check swing that he had appealed and possibly had changed that to a strike. We didn't get the confirmation of that. So they are showing 2-2. So we'll go with 2-2, even though I've got 3-1 in my books. Usually when I'm doing the MLB games, I'm normally correct. When I'm doing the Japanese games, I sometimes make that error. So here's the 2-2. And the pitch is delivered. It is swung on. It's grounded up the middle. Moving to his left and diving, fielding the ball is Kobayashi. He flips it backhanded to the second baseman, Adachi, covering the base. And they are going to retire Brandon Laird on a force. That's going to be a fielder's choice, 6-4 for the third out of the inning. A great play by the shortstop. So for the Chiba Lotte Marines, they finally break the ice. They had 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We're through 2.5. It is the Orix Buffaloes now trailing the Chiba Lotte Marines 1-0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the bottom of the third inning in just a couple of moments. We're glad you could be here with us. Here's our friend Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the bottom of the third inning, and it is a 1-0 ball game for Chiba. And ready to resume action on the mound is Daiki Iwashita. He is going to face Ranhel Rivero, Kataro Kobayashi, and Kenya Wakatsuki. This is the bottom third of the batting order, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses inside to Rivero, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Rivero is 1 for 7 in the playoffs. This is our first look at him. There is a changeup taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. For Rivero, he joined the Orix Buffaloes in June after he was granted his release from the Los Angeles Dodgers organization. He was hitting 400 in AAA. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it is the right fielder Kakanaka. He's going to make the catch. That is going to retire Rivero for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That is going to bring up the shortstop Kataro Kobayashi. For Kobayashi in these playoffs, he's looking for his first hit. He is 0 for 6. Kobayashi is played some sparkling defense. He made some really nice plays last night in the ball game for the Orix Buffaloes, and there's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kobayashi has been very solid defensively. He really has good movements. You can see when he approaches the baseball, he can really get around the ball. His arm is above average. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And the count is now 1-2 to Kobayashi. The Buffaloes are looking to claw their way back into this one. They're down 1-0. First time in the series that they find themselves behind. Here comes the pitch from Iwashita. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Iwashita holds at the belt. It's ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers, and it's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Kobayashi for the second out of the inning. And 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. For Wakatsuki, this is his second start of the playoffs. He got the nod in Game 1. He went 0 for 3. Last night he got the night off as the Buffaloes gave Tori Fushimi the start. They have not had any offense out of this position, as they are combined 0 for 6 in the playoffs. And the first pitch is a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch from The right-hander Iwashita, and it's a fastball that misses off the outside corner. And the count now goes to 1 strike. He really wanted that pitch, did the pitcher. He was rather theatrical about it. So here's the 1-1. It's a fastball swung on. It is tapped slowly back to the pitcher. Iwashita fields it. He fires to first. And that is going to retire Wakatsuki on a ground out, 1-3 for the third out of the inning. So for the third consecutive inning, the Buffaloes go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are through 3 complete. It is 1-0 for the Chiba Lotte Marines. Stick around, everybody. After this break, we'll be back with the call of the top of the 4th inning. Glad you guys could be with us.
Would you like to support Last Raps Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan, but we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Raps Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did.
Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the top of the 4th inning, and it is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters coming to bat for the Chiba Lotte Marines, and that means it's going to be Leonis Martin, Edney Hechavarria, and Yudai Fujioka. As they pan the crowd, we saw some Hankyu Braves jerseys in the stands. Of course, the club is no longer in existence, and here comes the first pitch to Martin. It is a fastball that's taken inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Martin actually looked like he was wanting to square to bunt, and it backed him off the plate. So 1 ball and no strikes to Leonis Martin. Martin batting from the left side, lefty against the lefty as he's facing the reliever Tomiyama. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that is swung on and missed. The count goes even to 1-1. Martin tonight is 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his first time up. He is 2 for 15 in the playoff structure here, the Climax Series. So Tomiyama looks in. He gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers, and it is a fastball that is taken on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count now is 1-2. Back-to-back Cubans in the Chiba batting order as Edney Hechavarria waits his turn on deck. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Leonis Martin. Here comes the pitch from Tomiyama. He kicks and delivers, and it is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Martin for the 2nd out of the inning, and his woes continue in the playoffs as he's now 2 for 16. Now that brings Edney Hechavarria to the plate. Hechavarria tonight is 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his first time up. He's been both sparkling with the bat and on defense for the Chiba Lotte Marines. He is 5 for 11 in the Climax Series. It is a fastball, and that is taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. The plate umpire tonight is sometimes very difficult to see his strike call. He never actually gets out of his stance. He just sort of puts the right hand out there, and if the catcher sometimes blocks it, you don't always get a good view. And there's a breaking ball down in the dirt, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Hechavarria will be followed by Yudai Fujioka. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. That's pitch right there. It looked like Hechavarria wanted to double up the scoreline. And he had the pitch to do it. That pitch was middle in, and he tried to turn that one around, but he swung right through it. So here comes the 1-2 pitch to Hechavarria. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Hechavarria is down on strikes, back-to-back strikeouts for Ryoga Tomiyama. So 2 up and 2 away here in the 4th inning, and that's going to leave it all up to Yudai Fujioka. Fujioka tonight is 0 for 1. He flew out to left field his first time up. He is 3 for 12 in the playoffs. As we mentioned before, he got the nod at shortstop in Game 1 of the series against the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, and he's been at third base ever since. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Fujioka. And in fairness to Edney Hechavarria, all he has done is produced since he has been given the opportunity to get into the lineup. So here's the 1-0 pitch. There is a breaking ball swung on and top foul over on the first base side. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. In other action, the other game that is going on in the Central League, it is a 1-0 lead for the Amuri Giants. They're now batting in the top of the 4th inning, and there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is 1-2. Murray got their run in the 3rd inning when Hayato Sakamoto drove in the leadoff hitter Yoshikawa. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. Of course, the winner of this series will take on the winner of the Central League Championships. The Yakult Swallows need 1 more win over there to close that one out. And we've got time at home plate as Fujioka has asked for time. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Fujioka. There's 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning. Tomiyama ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fujioka holds his hands away from his body. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's lined softly to the shortstop Kirbiashi, who makes the catch. And that is going to do it for Chiba in their half of the 4th inning. For Chiba, they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 1, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Here is part 1 of our Japanese Hall of Fame series. This is from our tour of Japan a couple of years ago. We got a chance to go to the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame. Check them out. We'll be right back after this, everybody. This little break, it is going to be the bottom of the 4th inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 1, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. It is the right-hander Daiki Iwashita completing his warm-up tosses. We are ready to go to the top of the fourth inning. The Orix Buffaloes have been retired in order in each of their first three innings, and that means it's going to be the top of the order, Shuhei Fukuda. Leading it off, he flew out to right field his first time up. He is 1 for 9 in the playoffs. So right-hander against the left-hander, and the first pitch is taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. The right-hander Iwashita has been very effective. He only threw 34 pitches in the first three innings of work. There's a fastball swung on, and it is looped over the head of the shortstop. And that is going to get down for a base hit. And Fukuda is aboard with a leadoff single here in the fourth inning. That is going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. I'm curious to see how Orix is going to play this out. I wonder if they're going to have Mune square to bunt here and maybe try to play it for one run at a time to try to get back into this ball game. So the runner at first is Fukuda. We'll know as soon as Mune steps in if he's squaring to bunt. Mune tonight is 0 for 1. He grounded to second his first time up. And he steps out of the batter's box, and we're going to do this all over again. As they're flashing the signs to him, giving these signs to the third base coach. He's relaying them to the hitter, Mune. Masataka Yoshida waits his turn on deck. And you can see that Mune is already squaring to bunt. The catcher for the Chiba Lotte Marines, Kakanuma, gets up and flashes a couple of signals out to his defense. The runner at first, Fukuda, he can run a little bit. They've got the middle infield in double play depth. The third baseman, Fujioka, is in on the grass. It's bunted. It's down the first baseline. It's a good one. It's fielded by Laird. He throws it over to first base to the second baseman, Nakamura, covering. That's going to go down as a sacrifice. 3-4 for the first out of the inning. That is going to advance Fukuda over to second, and that's going to bring Masataka Yoshida to the plate. The third baseman, Fujioka, was crashing. The bunt was laid down perfectly on the first baseline, and Brandon Laird had to make the play. So here we go back to the live action. So Masataka Yoshida flew up to left field his first time up. He is 3 for 8 in the playoffs. He's also got a walk. I was commenting last night that he reminds me of a left-handed hitting Alex Bregman, and there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. And I say that just because of how rigid he is at the plate and where he positions his hands. His hands are chest level, maybe a little bit on the lower side of chest level. But how he squeezes the bat, he looks very, very, very tense. He's got a little bit of movement, but he can swing the bat. So here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is now 2-0. One would think in this position, they do have an open base. You don't necessarily have to give Yoshida anything good to hit. If you think that maybe Sugimoto was the one you can go after, they did have success against Sugimoto his first at bat as he struck out. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a fastball delivered and taken for a called strike. The count is now 2-1 strike to Yoshida. The crowd is finally getting into it a little bit in Osaka. As we said, we expect the attendance to be somewhat similar to the first two games, which is just slightly under 18,000. So about 1/3 capacity. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is now 2-2. they did announce the schedule for the Japan series, and the first 2 games, the Buffaloes will be playing at the Kyocera Dome, but games 7 and 8, I believe, are going to Kobe, where they play some of their home games during the season, if in the event it goes to games 7 and 8. As if I'm not mistaken, Orix has the 1, 2, 7, and 8 seeding. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2. But as a reminder, they still have to be able to get to the Japan series. It's not a slam dunk that this one is over. Chiba still will be a difficult opponent to have to get through here. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Yoshida. Yoshida comes set at the belt. He's ready to go back to work. Takes a breath. He checks the runner. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called 3rd strike. And an emphatic call by the home plate umpire has retired Yoshida for out number 2. I've been saying throughout the night that the home plate umpire has been very tight with the strike zone. And that pitch there, he rings Yoshida up for called 3rd strike, and Yoshida sure didn't like the call. He was starting to make his way to first base. So that is going to bring up the right fielder, Yataro Sugimoto. Sugimoto tonight is 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up. He's 3 for 7 in the series. He's got a homer, a couple RBIs, and a couple of base on balls. A big blow last night was the 2-run homer off of the reliever, Yasuki Azuma, who came in to replace Manabu Mima after he was drilled by a line drive off the bat of Masataka Yoshida. So here we go back to work. Yoshida holds the ball at the belt. The first pitch is a fastball that misses down, and it's 1-0 to Sugimoto. 1 ball and no strikes. We do want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Should this go to a 4th game, we will be back on the air again tomorrow night, same time, same place. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. And that pitch is a split finger pitch that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Sugimoto. There is the open base as T. Okada waits his turn on deck. And we're going to get a visit from the pitching coach because they're going to talk about this one over here. So we have a little pause in the action as Iwashita gets the visit. Iwashita really was cruising for the first time through the batting order. He was retired 9 straight hitters until Shuhei Fukuda led off the inning here with a single. And of course, Mune sacrificed him to second, and then Masataka Yoshida went down looking on strikes. So they're probably talking about how they want to pitch Sugimoto. They don't have to give him anything good. They do have the open base. And now they've held up the fingers, and he is going to first base. So they're going to complete the at-bat with the intentional walk. And that is going to bring up T. Okada. So that just sets up the fielder's choice here. So Okada is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. He is 2 for 8 in the playoffs. And the first pitch to him is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Not necessarily a bad decision to put Sugimoto on base because he doesn't run particularly well. But it takes the threat of him with one swing of the bat, putting the Buffaloes in the lead. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to Okada. Iwashita holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. So this is the problem. That pitch right there, and we see it on the replay, that pitch looked pretty good. In fact, I would say that pitch looked a lot better than the called third strike on Masataka Yoshida. So if you were an Orix fan, you're going to be left scratching your head at what's a ball and what's a strike. So that count now is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Okada here digs in, ready to go to work against the right-hander, Iwashita. Iwashita gets the sign from his catcher, Kakanuma. He holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is tapped foul just to the first baseline, and that is fielded by the catcher, and that is going to make the count 1-2 now to Okada. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Should Okada find a way on base, it'll be Ryochi Adachi who's waiting his turn on deck. This will be the 15th pitch of the inning, delivered by Iwashita. So Iwashita gets the sign from his catcher, Kakanuma. He's ready to go back to work. He's comes set at the belt. Checks the runner at second base. Hechavarria is tucked in between the runner and second base. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that almost hits Okada. And that makes the count now 2-2. Okada turned inside, and the pitch just was very, very close. We'll watch that one again. He's just able to get out of the way. I'm not so sure in that situation that you want to get out of the way. That would have loaded the bases and created a very difficult situation for the right-hander. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Iwashita holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down. And scampering back to second base is the base runner Fukuda, as the catcher Kakanuma does a great job of blocking the pitch. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The defense is playing back on the proverbial grass. It's a turf field, but they're on the green portion of the outfield side are the first baseman and second baseman. They're playing very deep. Hechavarria is on the grass, stationed between the runner and the base at second base. And here's the pitch from Iwashita. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded, and it's a nice play by the first base coach. He was able to pick it up on a couple of hops. It's going to keep the count full to Okada. The runners are going to be off to the races as soon as that pitch is delivered toward the plate. This here could be a turning point in the ball game with runners on first and second and 2-way. The count is full to Okada. Iwashita looks in. He gets his sign from the catcher Kakanuma. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. He kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch down in the dirt. Okada swings at it, and he is tagged out by the catcher as the catcher blocks it. And that is going to be a strikeout to end the inning here in the 4th inning. He swung. That was definitely ball 4. But Okada was fooled, and he went chasing, and that is going to do it for the Buffaloes in their half of the 4th inning. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We're through 4 complete. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 1, the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for the top of the 5th inning in just a couple of moments. Thank you all for being with us. We're glad you could be here tonight. Here's another one of our Hall of Fame memories. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change. It is a right-hander coming in for the Orix Buffaloes, and it is going to be one of their imports. And taking over on the mound is going to be the right-hander, and this is Vargas. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And it is quickly no balls and one strike to the catcher, Kakanuma. For Vargas, on the season, we got a chance to see him pitch a little bit. He is the former San Diego Padre. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Vargas was 1-1 for the Buffaloes this year. He had a ugly ERA of 11.00. There is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 2-1. He appeared in 5 games. He pitched 9 innings, gave up 13 hits, 11 runs, all earned. He walked 4 and struck out 7. They're calling on him to keep things close here in the 5th inning. And there is a changeup that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-1. So Cesar Vargas in relief. So here comes the 3-1 pitch. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2 to Kakanuma. Interesting to see how the Buffaloes are going to manage their pitching here in this game. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow center field. Moving back is the shortstop, Kirbiashi. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Kakanuma for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Takashi Ogino. So Vargas now into the game. So Ogino steps up. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He has scored the only run for Chiba. He is 5 for 18 in the playoffs, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Last pitch by Vargas was 157 kilometers an hour. That's about a 98 mile an hour fastball. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. The one thing that we notice with Vargas, and we've seen this before, he doesn't finish his pitches very well. He leaves a lot of balls up in the zone. Even though he throws hard, he doesn't have a lot of downward tilt. And there's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up over in foul territory just between home plate and first base, and the catcher, Wakatsuki, is going to make the catch. 2 up and 2 away, and that is going to leave it up to the center fielder, Koshiro Wada. So Vargas coming in, getting 2 quick outs on 9 pitches. So Koshiro Wada tonight is 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up, and he flew out to center his first time. So right-hander against the left-hander. He squares to bunt, but he watches that fastball sail upstairs, and the count is 1-0. He pulled the bat back right at the last moment. So 1 ball and no strikes. Vargas gets his sign from Wakatsuki, goes back to work, and again Wada squares to bunt. This time he takes it for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Vargas gets the sign from his catcher. He goes back to work. And there is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. And so here's the 1-2 from Vargas. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner. That one there was rung up at 99 miles an hour. That is going to make the count 2-2. I wonder if Vargas would be a little bit more effective if he took a little bit off of his fastball, because he doesn't get a lot of movement on the pitch. And there is a fastball swung on, and it's fouled off the ankle of the catcher, Wakatsuki. And the count is going to remain at 2-2. Sometimes the pitchers take a little bit off of the fastball, able to increase the movement a little bit. Vargas's ball really sits flat. There's not a lot of late life on the pitch. There's no cut. There's no run. Not a lot of depth. Here's the 2-2. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's tap foul behind home plate. And the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Koshiro Wada. This is going to be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Here's the 2-2. And it's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-2 to Wada. So Wada has battled all the way back to make the count full. Should he find a way on, it's Shogo Nakamura waiting his turn on deck. Comes the 3-2 pitch, and it is a fastball swung on. It's grounded to first. Okada takes it on one knee, and he runs over and steps on the bag. And that is going to do it for Chiba in their half of the 5th inning. So for the Marines, they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 1, the Orix Buffaloes 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 5th inning in just a couple moments. We're glad you could be here with us. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 5th inning, and it is still the right-hander Daiki Iwashita on the hill. He has pitched very well tonight for the Chiba Lotte Marines. He has thrown 52 pitches in his 4 innings of work. Last inning was the first inning that the Buffaloes got a couple of runners on, as Fukuda had singled and Sugimoto was intentionally walked. He's going to be facing the 6, 7, and 8 hitters here in the batting order. It's going to be Adachi, Rivero, and Kirby-Ashi to get things going for the Buffaloes in their half of the 5th inning. So here's the first pitch from Iwashita. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Adachi is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew to center field. He is 0 for 5 with a couple of walks in the playoffs so far. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. Iwashita kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. And the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander against the right-hander. Iwashita ready to go back to the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count now is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Adachi stands in, waiting from the delivery from the right-hander Iwashita. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This is lifted down the right field line. Moving over is the right fielder Kakonaka, and he's going to make the catch as he cruises just into foul territory. And that is going to retire Adachi for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Rangel Rivero. For Rivero, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field his first time up. He is 1 for 8 in the playoffs. Even though he had some really good swings in the first game, kind of makes you wonder if they're going to stay with him or not. We've yet to see Adam Jones in this series. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Of course, there are other imports earlier in the year. They had Stephen Moya with the club as well. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball. It misses outside. They peel down to first, and they said Rivero went. So now it's 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-2. Adam Jones is on the playoff roster. It's not been used. He's on the game sheet. Take a look. He would be an option off of the bench. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Rivero swings and he fouls it straight back, and that is going to keep the count at 1-2. Rivero looked like he wanted to turn that one around. He was not cheated on that pitch whatsoever. There are not a lot of left-handed hitters or left-handed hitting options in the Orix batting order or the Orix lineup. Yuma Mune is one of them. And of course, Masataka Yoshida is another. They do have Kodai Sano, but he's a switch hitter, one of the few. And there is a breaking ball. And Rivero chases that pitch, and he is retired on strikes for out number 2 here in the 5th inning. Of course, T. Okada is a left-handed stick, as is Oda. The left-handed hitting options off of the bench, very limited for Orix. When I think of a left-handed hitted leading team, Rocket and Golden Eagles roll left-handed hitters one after another out. Pretty much, I think 7 hitters in their lineup are left-handed. And there is a breaking ball that misses down and away to Kirbiashi. So 1 ball and no strikes. So Kotaro Kirbiashi is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. He's batting here with 2 out in the 5th inning. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, and there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0 to Kirbiashi. So 2 balls and no strikes. Yoshida gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers, and it is a breaking ball swung on. It is tap foul over on the third base side. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Hopefully everybody here can still hear me pretty good. We do have some weather here. I know the fellows that are listening in Hawaii, you guys know what it's like when you get some rain. It doesn't just rain, it rains hard. And there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kirbiashi. Sometimes we get something called a pineapple express that blows its way up the coast. Usually starts in the Hawaiian Islands and makes its way up here. Here's a breaking ball. It's swung on. It's tap foul just behind home plate. Kirbiashi is able to fight it off and stay alive. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kotaro Kirbiashi. Ready to go back to work here. Comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball, and that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 3-2. Just a quick update on the game in the Central League. It's still a 1-0 ball game for the Murray Giants. CC Mercedes has a no-hitter through 4 innings. There is a fastball that is check swing, swung on, and it's lifted foul into the netting on the first base side. It's going to keep the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The starter for the Swallows, Hara, had a rough beginning of that game. He threw 31 pitches. He was taken out after an inning and a third. Here comes the pitch, and it is a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Kirby for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here in the bottom of the fifth for Orix. So they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. It is that time of the night where they do take that little break in between innings. And just as they do, we are as well. We're glad you guys are with us. We're going to get ourselves a drink, refresh our voice, and be back for the last 4 innings of the ball game. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 1, Orix Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this from our friend Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be moving to the top of the sixth inning. This is the time where they do take a break. The cheerleaders are out dancing. They are raking the dirt around the bases, and the crowd is being entertained, and we're going to get ourselves a refreshment and come on back for the top of the sixth inning in a few moments. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in about 60 seconds.
Hello, and we'll be right back to Last Straps Baseball after this brief message from me, Steve Rademacher. Thank you all for watching my channel and supporting me. Thank you all for supporting Freddie and Last Straps Baseball. He does an awesome job commentating. And to show you some more stuff that you could see on my channel, we have shiny Pokemon cards. We have Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Brett Favre. We have Bo Jackson playing baseball. That's right. That's his rookie card. Very nice. We even have gold. We have gold. We have wrestlers. That's Rowdy Piper. And yes, we even have Jason Stokes and many ways to destroy him. So now, thank you again. Back to your regular program with your host, Last Straps Baseball.
As always, thanks again, Steve, for your support. We appreciate you and everything that you do. Be sure to check out his channel after the game. We got Danny Davis in the house. He says, come on, Orix, bring this money home. And definitely this is going to be something that we're going to be keeping an eye on. It's going to be the top of the sixth inning. It's going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Chiba batting order to get things going. It'll be Shogo Nakamura, Brandon Laird, and Katsuya Kakunaka to get things rolling for Chiba when we resume the action. Just a few things with regards to the highlights tonight. The only run of the ball game was scored by Chiba in the third inning. It was the one-out single by Takashi Ojino, then was moved over to third when Koshiro Wada stepped up and smoked a double into the left field corner. And Shogo Nakamura had a shallow sacrifice fly to drive home Ojino for the first and only run of the ball game. And that is where we stand. In the out-of-town scoreboard, it is a 1-0 ball game between the Tokyo Yakult Swallows and the Yomiuri Giants. The Giants scored a run in their third inning, much similar to this game. It was doing the damage was Hiyano Sakamoto, the shortstop, knocking in the leadoff hitter Yoshikawa. And that is where that game stands as well. So 1-0 ball games. Both the visiting teams have the lead, and so we're about ready to resume the action here in just a moment. So as we mentioned, it is going to be Nakamura, Laird, and Kakanaka to get things going for Chiba in their half of the top of the 6th inning. Up and getting loose is Adam Jones. He's playing catch. It'll be interesting to see if he will be a bat used in their lineup. The Buffaloes are going to stay with Cesar Vargas, who has come on in relief. Vargas got himself a 1-2-3 inning in his last inning of work. So he's back in here to see if he could do it all over again. They're trying to keep the game close. They are into the bullpens now as the starter Yamazaki went only 2 3/4 innings. Check that, 2 2/3 innings. And he was replaced by Tomiyama and then Vargas. And so here's the first pitch from Vargas. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nakamura. Vargas ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. The thing that does impress us with Vargas is his velocity. He has brought the ball up to almost 100 miles an hour. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted foul on the first base side. That is going to go back and reach the seats beyond the first base dugout. And the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2-1 to Nakamura. Vargas ready to go back to work. And there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is driven foul just down the left field line. About a foot foul. Nakamura absolutely scorched that. We'll watch that again. Maybe a couple of feet foul. That ball bounced a couple of times and got into the stands. But an excellent job by the right-handed stick of Nakamura to turn that one around, but just couldn't keep it fair. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball, and Nakamura fires his hands at it, and the ball is lifted into the seats behind first base, and that's going to run the count still to 2-2. So here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's a breaking ball. This is grounded on 1/2 to short. It's fielded by Kirbiashi. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Nakamura. That goes as a ground out. 6-3 for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Brandon Laird. For Brandon Laird tonight, he is officially 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up, and he walked and was erased on a fielder's choice to end the 3rd inning. Laird is struggling like the rest of the Chiba Bats in this playoffs. He is 2 for 15. So Vargas ready to go to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball, and he blows it by Laird. The count is 0-1. Vargas is doing what the Buffaloes thought he could do. That's come in and be a power arm and throw strikes. Certainly the regular season didn't show that. And there is a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and the count is 0-2. His breaking ball doesn't break a whole lot. It's more of an off-speed type of pitch. There's not a lot of depth to the breaking ball for Vargas. And here's the 0-2. And there is a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to short. It's fielded by Kirbiashi. He's on the outfield grass as he throws to first, and that is going to retire Laird on a ground out 6-3. I'm pretty impressed with the way that Kirbiashi really plays his position. He plays very, very, very deep. And he was about 3 steps on the outfield grass as he was moving towards second base to field that ball. I say outfield grass. They are in a turf field, so it's the green portion of the turf. And he throws to first and retires Laird for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to Katsuya Kakanaka. As we said, I'm getting Kakanaka and Kakanuma confused. This is the right fielder Kakanaka. And the first pitch is a 156-kilometer-an-hour fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and it's a fastball that misses outside. And the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the right fielder Kakanaka. And there is a split finger pitch that's down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, and they said he went. The count is 1-2. I'd like to have another look at that myself. And it looks like he did go. The umpire at third base agrees. So here's the 1-2 pitch. That pitch is a fastball that misses down the way, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vargas ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball, and that's swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. The count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As a reminder, we'll be back on the air again tomorrow should there be a 4th game in this series. There is a fastball swung on and missed, and Vargas has retired 6 in a row since entering the ball game, as Kakanaka has gone down on strikes for out number 3. So for Chiba in their half of the 6th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Moving to the bottom of the 6th inning, it is the Orix Buffaloes trailing Chiba Lotte Marines 1-0. We'll be back in just a couple moments, everybody. We're glad you could be here with us tonight, or in the morning, depending on where you're at. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is going to be the 9-1-2 hitters in the batting order for the Orix Buffaloes. That means it's Kenya Wakatsuki, Shuhei Fukuda, and Yuma Mune coming to bat for the Buffaloes in their half of the 6th inning. They're looking to put up a run, or at least a couple of runs on the board here. It has been very difficult as Daiki Iwashita has pitched a gem today. He's thrown 69 pitches through his 5 innings of work. He has only allowed the 1 hit, and that was to Shuhei Fukuda back in the 4th inning. So here we go, ready to get back to the action. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses off the outside corner. And the count is 1-0. Wakatsuki tonight is 0 for 1. He is 0 for 4 in the playoffs. Got the start in game 1 he had last night off, and there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Wakatsuki tapped it back to the pitcher his last time up, as he's 0 for 1, and there is a changeup that misses outside. And the count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Holding the ball at the belt is the right-hander Iwashita. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count now goes to 2-2. Iwashita works from the sort of a pseudo stretch. And there's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And Wakatsuki is retired on strikes for the first out here in the 6th inning. That is going to bring up the center fielder, Shuhei Fukuda. Fukuda tonight has the only Orix hit. He had a single to lead off the 4th inning. He lined out to right field his first at bat. He is 1 for 2. He is 2 for 10 on the playoffs. So we'll say in the games that I've watched here, which has been each of the games, he's had some pretty good swings. He's hit the ball hard. On a few occasions, he's just happened to hit them right at people, and he takes a first pitch for a fastball for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Fukuda has been busy in center field again tonight. He's got a couple of putouts to his name, and here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Iwashita has, in this ball game here, he's got 7 strikeouts, actually 8 if you include the first one of Wakatsuki here, which is not necessarily his forte. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside. On the season, he only had 87 strikeouts in 120 innings pitched, so he was well below the strikeout per inning. But the Buffaloes tonight have been rung up 8 times. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Usually when Iwashita pitches, he needs some defensive help. He allowed 110 hits in those 120 innings. Opposition usually can put the bat on the ball, and here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down. The count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. His walk rate was a little bit high. He walked just over a batter per every 2.7 innings. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is ripped into right field. And Fukuda is aboard for the second time tonight with a base hit single. That's his second hit of the game, and it's Orix's second hit of the game. And it's going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Mune tonight is 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. He bounced into a sacrifice his last time. He's officially 0 for 1. He's 1 for 8 on the playoffs. And we have a break in the action. There's something has happened to the pitcher, Iwashita, as he has run off the field. And sometimes you'll see this in the Japanese league. If somebody is hurt or something is wrong, that they will go down the tunnel, unlike in Major League Baseball where you see what happens on the field. But something has happened, either that or maybe he has to go to the bathroom. But something that you typically don't see. We're going to get the replay on that. We're going to see what has happened. So the base hit, that was the second one. And Iwashita, as we're looking at him, he looks down at his fingers. So something has happened. It's either a fingernail and he's asked for time from the umpire. So here he comes back onto the field, and they are going to get a visit. It looks like they've done some work on his fingers. So I wonder if it's a blister that started to take place. He's going to get a couple of pitches. So typically pitchers who throw a lot of two-seam fastballs and those type of things, that's where their fingers can get rubbed up a little bit. Here's another warm-up pitch. Well, he says he's okay, and so he's going to stay in the ball game. So the runner at first is Fukuda with 1 away, and Yuma Mune steps up to the plate. Mune, as we said, is 0 for 1. And he had that sacrifice his last time up. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to sacrifice here again. The last time he did it, there was nobody out. Here there's 1 out. Waiting on deck is Masataka Yoshida. But this would be a perfect situation to try to steal the base runner over. And here's the first pitch to Mune, and that pitch is swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. Moving back on the warning track is the right fielder, Kakanaka. He looks up, and it is gone. A home run for the Orix Buffaloes, Yuma Mune. Mune has just put the Buffaloes in the lead as he has turned that one around. And the Buffaloes are now up 2-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Unbelievable. So Mune, who only on the season flashed a little bit of power, didn't have a whole ton of power, but Yuma Mune had himself 9 home runs during the regular season. Puts a charge into that one, and it is now a 2-1 Orix lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Masataka Yoshida. Danny Davis is pumped up. And so he should be. But the Buffaloes are not out of the woods yet. They need to get some stellar pitching at the back end and try to close this one off. One would think it's going to have a very similar feel to last night's game. Or I should say maybe the Game 1 game. The bullpen. Probably will see Yoshida, Higgins, and Hirano to close the game out. That would be last night's game. So here we are back to the live action. It's a first pitch fastball to Yoshida. He fouls it away. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. I have to say that was kind of unexpected. I was thinking possibly Mune to bunt him over to second, not to deposit one into the seats. But that's exactly what he did. So here comes the 0-2 pitch, and it is swung on. It is popped foul on the third base side. Racing over is Fujioka, but it's going to reach the seats. That's going to bring the count to 0-2 to Yoshida. Yoshida tonight is 0 for 2. He flew out to left his first time up. He struck out looking his last time up. He is 3 for 9 in the playoffs. This will be the 85th pitch of the ball game for Iwashida. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul behind home plate. That ball is going to reach the seats as the catcher Kakanuma goes over to the stands. But it's going to drift back about 10 rows into the seats. So no balls and 2 strikes. Waiting his turn on deck is Yutaro Sugimoto. Commenting the first 2 games of this playoff series, very, very quick tempo, fastly played games. Major League Baseball can make a note to this. As their playoff games, the 2-0 game that I saw with the Braves and the Astros, that game 3, there's another fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats, and the count remains at 0-2. Took almost 4 hours to play a 2-0 ball game. The game the other night, game 1 of this series, that ended 1-0, took 2 hours and 15 minutes. The pace of the play, the lack of commercials in between innings, players hustle on and off the field, it makes for a much more entertaining affair. It doesn't drag on forever. And if Rob Manfred ever listened to this stream, I would tell him flat out, Rob, you got to talk to the teams about getting them in and off the field quicker and increase the price of your commercials, but reduce the number of them. So there is a breaking ball swung on. Again, it's fouled away. And again, it's going to get back, but it's not going to reach the seats this time as Yasuda Kakanuma is going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Masataka Yoshida for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it up to Yutaro Sugimoto. So Sugimoto steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1 today. He struck out looking, and he was intentionally walked his last time up. So the score line is 2-1 for the Orix Buffaloes here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Iwashita getting ready to go back to work. He kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. We do want to thank everybody for checking out our call here tonight. We appreciate you being here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, we hope you would consider it. Hit the bell because that'll tell you when we're on again. And there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So it'll be the 90th pitch of the ball game for Iwashita. And he kicks and delivers, and it is a fastball that's taken on the outside corner for a called strike. And the count is now 1-2 to Sugimoto. Sugimoto's had a productive series. He is 3 for 7. He's got 3 walks, a homer, and a couple RBIs. But the hero right now is Yuma Mune, who has put the Buffaloes ahead 2-1. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's a breaking ball, and that is a check swing by Sugimoto, and the umpire says he went, and he is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning, but the damage has been done. A 2-run homer by Yuma Mune, 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're through 6 complete. It is now the Orix Buffaloes 2, the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the top of the 7th inning. Glad you could be here with us. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 7th inning, and it is a 2-1 ball game now for the Orix Buffaloes, courtesy of a 2-run Yuma Mune home run. Scheduled to bat for Chiba in their half of the 7th. It's going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Leonis Martin, Edney Hechevarria, and Yudai Fujioka. And so we'll get you that information as they come up to the plate. We are anticipating that the Buffaloes will be going to their bullpen, as they will probably use something very similar to last night to close this game out. Cesar Vargas did a great job in relief tonight, retiring the 6 batters he faced. And he will be in line for the win. And just as predicted, they do have a reliever coming into the game. And this is going to be Kaida. And we'll get you the specs on him in just a moment. There is a fastball taken by Leonis Martin for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So the specs on the pitcher Kaida. This is Tomoyuki Kaida. He pitched this year in. There's a fastball swung on. Martin. It is hit into center field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. So Leonis Martin is aboard, and we'll come back to Kaida's numbers here. As Kaida is, or 10 and a third innings in 16 ball games. He allowed 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He had walked 4 and struck out 5. And he had a 2.61 ERA, but that looks like it is going to be it for him. One batter, and that is his night is over. So he cannot get the job done. We are going back to the bullpen. And with that being said, we'll be back here in just a couple moments, everybody. We'll get you the pitching change as it becomes available. TYN in the house, welcome. Great to see you with us. Stick around, everybody. We got a pitching change. And it is going to be, well, I'm not sure who it's going to be. We're going to have to check it out and come on back.
Would you like to support Last Drafts Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan, but we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Drafts Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did.
Everybody, and it is who we thought initially would have come in, and that is going to be, we have got, I'm just taking a quick look here, guys. We have who I thought initially it was going to be. We have Ryo Yoshida now coming into the ball game. Yoshida worked in last night's game in relief, and he pitched a inning where he only gave up a double last night to Edney Hechavarria. He retired the side on 4 batters. And he is going to be facing Edney Hechavarria now, who hit a double off him last night. So he is coming in a situation where the leadoff batter is aboard Leonis Martin. And now you've got Hechavarria stepping to the plate. So Ryo Yoshida, we would expect Tyler Higgins will pitch the 8th, and the 9th inning would be Hirano. If everything it goes accordingly, I'm just a little surprised that they may not have started Yoshida, although they wanted the lefty-lefty matchup. And that sure did not work out in the favor of the Buffaloes. So here's Hechavarria to face Yoshida, and the first pitch from Yoshida is a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1. We are getting into crunch time. The Buffaloes are going to try to close this one out. So no balls and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch from Yoshida. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats beyond first base. Good 20 rows into the seats, and that's going to run the count to 0-2 to Hechavarria. It'll be followed by Yudai Fujioka in the bottom third of the batting order for the Chiba Lotte Marines. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back on it is the left fielder, Ravello. He's going to make the catch. Tagging from first is the base runner, Leonis Martin, and he's able to get into second base. So that ball was absolutely scorched. Martin, good heads-up base running to challenge the arm of the left fielder, and he gets into second base, and he's got himself into scoring position. So a good bit of base running on the fly ball by Hechavarria. He must have noted that earlier because it looks like Rangel Rivero does not have a very good arm. Rivero had caught that ball and had to throw a ball to the plate where the sacrifice fly came from earlier in the ball game when Shogo Nakamura hit a shallow fly ball to left field. Rivero certainly did not flash an arm. So now we have a runner on second with 1 away. That brings up Yudai Fujioka, and the first pitch to Fujioka is a changeup that misses inside. And the count is 1-0. So Leonis Martin, I had a chance to see him play quite a bit in Seattle. And also got a chance to see him quite a bit in Detroit. And there are times that he does some really smart things on the baseball diamond, and then there's some other things that just really, really frustrate you. But that was one play right there that you have to tip your hat to the base runner. He was an outstanding job. And he was able to take second base on a deep fly ball to left field. There is a changeup that misses outstairs, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Fujioka. And Adachi has come in to have a couple of words with his pitcher. They're probably going to be talking about how they want to hold the runner Martin at second base. So 2 balls and no strikes. They do have an open base. And one would think that Yoshida would like to retire this part of the batting order. And here's a breaking ball. They peel over to third base, and the third base umpire said Fujioka didn't go, and the count is now 3-0. So Ryo Yoshida, who just has his first name on the back of the jersey. There is a pinch hitter. It is Sato has moved his way into the on-deck circle. So we would anticipate a pinch hitter for the catcher. It has been a dead spot in the Chiba batting order. The 9-hole spot. Here comes the 3-0 pitch, and it is a changeup taken for a called strike. The count is 3-1 to Fujioka. So 3 balls and 1 strike. When I saw Chiba get that first run in the 3rd inning, the thing that came to my mind is this game is not going to be a 1-0 ball game. They're going to need to produce some runs. And of course, Yumamune had turned around that pitch to make it 2-1. So here we go. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is now 3-2 to Fujioka. Going to have to find a way to get a runner on base as they did, and now they got to find a way to cash him home. He's in scoring position as Leonis Martin. They got 2 cracks to bring him in. Here comes the payoff pitch to Fujioka. Yoshida checks the runner at second. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. That is going to retire Fujioka on strikes for the first out of the inning. Or sorry, for the second out of the inning. That was a clutch pitch by Yoshida. And that is going to scheduled to bring up Yasuda Kakanuma. But he is not going to bat. It is going to be a pinch hitter. That pinch hitter coming up here for the Chiba Lotte Marines is one of the other catchers. That's Toshiya Sato. So Sato comes to bat from the left side. And the first pitch is taken for a called strike. The count is quickly no balls and 1 strike. He's hitting in the 9 spot. Try to turn the batting order over so they could bring Takashi Ojino to the plate. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to Sato. They've set up really off the plate. And the pitch is a fastball that just misses outside. The count now is 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Sato. Yoshida ready to go back to work. He holds at the chest. checks the runner at second. He kicks and delivers, and it is a breaking ball that Sato tries to check his swing on, but he can't hold up. He clearly went around, and the count is now 1-2. It would be interesting to ask the Chiba hitters. It's a couple of times now that they have chased pitches, but from Yoshida, what exactly they see in his delivery. It provides some confusion. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Yoshida checks the runner at second. He kicks and delivers, and it is a split finger pitch that's lifted into center field. That ball's going to get down. It's in front of the center fielder. Here comes Leonis Martin. He is going to score, and we are all knotted up at 2. Sato delivers an RBI single into center field. And Martin, with his heads-up base running, has delivered the tying run here for Chiba in the top of the 7th inning. That pitch, it was a good pitch by Yoshida. It was a split finger pitch that was down, and it was just looped into center field. Fukuda was playing deep, and he had to come hard to get the ball, but he let that ball bounce in front of him. Leonis Martin is easily around from second base to score the tying run. We are now knotted up at 2. And is now going to bring up the top of the order. This is Takashi Ogino. Ogino tonight is 1 for 3 at the plate. He scored a run in the 3rd inning. He's also flown out to right and popped to the catcher. So here comes the pitch from Ryo Yoshida. And it is a breaking ball that misses outside. And the count is 1-0. So Orix, this game is not in the bag yet, obviously, because the game is now tied up. They're going to have to get some good relief pitching here. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, and it's a fastball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ogino really crowds the plate. He's got both of his feet up on the white lines of the batter's box. And Yoshida flips it over to first, and diving back in time is the pinch hitter Sato. One would anticipate that Sato will probably come in to catch for the catcher who started Kakunuma. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. This game here is pace has slowed down quite a bit. And here comes the 2-1 pitch, and it is a changeup taken for a called strike. Buckled the knees of Ogino. I don't think he was looking for that pitch. That runs the count now to 2-2. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yoshida ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on, and it's grounded foul. Even though it was a foul ball, it was a nice play by Mune to backhand that ball. We're going to do the 2-2 pitch all over again. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ogino digs in. Waiting on the pitch from the right-hander Yoshida. Yoshida comes set at the chest. He kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch. It is popped up over on the right side. Camping out underneath it is T. Okada. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here in the top of the 7th inning for Chiba, but they get a run back. They had 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. We are moving to the bottom half of the 7th inning. We are all knotted up at 2s. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the 7th inning. We're glad you could be here.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 7th inning, and it is going to be Teokata, Ryochi Adachi, and Rangel Rivero scheduled to come to bat for the Buffaloes in their half of the 7th inning. The game is all knotted up at 2s as Chiba has come back with a run in their half of the 7th inning. They responded. We do have a pitching change, and it is going to be a right-hander. And we have seen this fellow work before for Chiba. And this is going to be number 92. I'll get you that change here in a moment. If I remember correctly, it is Kuniyoshi. But I want to do a double check on that. This is number 92. And that is exactly who it is. It is Kuniyoshi now in the pitch. He had spent the first part of the year with the Yakult Swallows and came to Chiba late in the season. The first pitch is a fastball that misses inside to Teokata. The count is 1-0. So Yuki Kuniyoshi on the mound. He had appeared in a couple of games against the Tohoku Rocket and Golden Eagles. And there's a fastball swung on it and is lined into right field. It's past a diving first baseman. It's cut off by the right fielder, Kakanuma. And that is going to hold Okada to a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So the challenge for the pitcher here is his ability to throw strikes. So Kuniyoshi has shown wildness. He's pitched well since coming over to Chiba. He was 2-0. He had a 1.44 ERA, but in 25 innings of work, he'd walked 17 batters. So with Okada aboard with a single, it is Ryo Adachi stepping up to the plate. Adachi is 0 for 2 tonight. We would anticipate this is definitely a sacrifice situation. Adachi has 0 for 6 in the playoffs. He's got a couple of walks. Kuniyoshi steps off and fakes a throw to first base. But one would expect this is definitely a sacrifice bunt situation. Japanese baseball, they like their bunts. And one would think a bunt is in order right about here. And so here comes the pitch. They do square the bunt. They get it down. It's fielded by the pitcher. He fires to first, and that is going to do the job and move T. Okada to second base. Okada advances. It's going to go down as a sacrifice, 2-3. Nice job by Adachi to move the runner over, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Rangel Rivero. In some ways, defensively, I would have to point my finger at Rivero for being responsible or partly responsible for allowing those 2 runs to happen. Sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning by Shogo Nakamura was not a deep sacrifice fly. It was not a great throw back into the infield. Had to get cut off by the shortstop. And then, of course, in the last inning, Leonis Martin challenged the arm of the left fielder and was able to take second base on a fly ball to left field, and eventually came around to score. So if there's a turning point in the ball game, it would be the defensive shortcomings of the arm of Rangel Rivero. And so Nea is still in the house here. Thanks for sticking it out with us here tonight. I'm not sure where in Maui you are located, but no matter where you're at, it's a beautiful place. So here comes the first pitch to Rivero. Kuniyoshi looks the runner back at second. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. For those of you who come back and listen on delay, we're also glad to have you as well. Not everybody in North America listens to the games live. We do get people that come back and listen to the ball game. We get quite a bit of hours and watch time out of this in the daytime, and we appreciate that. Here is the 1-0 pitch, and that pitch is inside. Did it hit him? No, he was just able to get out of the way. And Rivero had to do a little bit of a hopscotch maneuver to avoid that one running into the ribs. And the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Putting Rivero on here, or not necessarily pitching to him, isn't the worst thing. They do have the open base at first, and they have the 8-9 hitters in the batting order. Although we may potentially see the opportunity for a pinch hitter here. Certainly for the catcher, I'm not sure they want to take the starting shortstop out of the ballgame. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It is hit to third base. It's fielded by the third baseman, Fujioka. He fires to first. And they are going to retire Rivero. That goes as a ground out. 5-3. He had to struggle with the ball. He bobbled the ball, did Fujioka, but he stayed with it. That ball was a 2-hopper. It looked like it hit the dirt. He was able to stay down, and he was able to fire across the diamond and get Rivero by a couple of steps. So that is the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. Kobayashi is looking for his first hit of the playoffs. This would certainly be a timely moment to be able to do it. He is 0 for 2 tonight. He is 0 for 8 in the series. And here comes the first pitch from Kuniyoshi. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses low, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kobayashi waiting on the pitch from the right-hander, and it is a fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As we said, we thank those who've been able to stick around with us tonight. Glad you are with us and have been able to tune in. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line. Kirby Ashe absolutely turned on that one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on the shortstop for the Orix Buffaloes. So here we go, ready to go back to work. Kuniyoshi has Kirby Ashe in the hole at 1 and 2. There's 2 outs and a runner on second. We're all knotted up at 2s here in the bottom of the 7th. He holds the ball at the belt. He checks the runner Okada at second. He kicks and delivers, and that ball is spiked. It gets beyond the block by the catcher, and it bounces up the third baseline. That is going to be a wild pitch, and Okada is now on third with 2 away. And the count runs even to Kirby Ashe. That looked like it was a football player spiking a ball after a touchdown. That ball was at least a good solid 6 feet in front of the plate. I mean, it wasn't even close. And it was a decent job by the catcher Sato to be able to at least block the ball. Because otherwise, even if he kept it in front, even though the runner did advance, if that ball would have went to the backstop, that could have been a run all the way from second. And again, the right-hander Kuniyoshi spikes the ball, and again, it's a nice stop by the catcher. The count is now 3 and 2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Sato is earning his money. Had the game-tying hit in the top of the inning, and now he's had to really do a good job of blocking the baseball. The count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kirby Ashe. Comes the payoff pitch. He kicks and delivers, and it is a fastball. It's down in the dirt. It's blocked by Sato. He's going to have to throw to first, and that is going to retire Kirby Ashe. It goes down as a strikeout, 2-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. So they strand a runner at third base, and it is no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 7 complete. It's Chiba 2, Orix 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the top of the 8th inning when we return. We're going to get ourselves a drink. We're going to buckle ourselves in for hopefully an exciting finish. Here is our friend Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Thanks again, Matt. And we are going to be coming back here for the top of the 8th inning, and the Orix Buffaloes are going to the bullpen yet again. We are going to see Tyler Higgins coming into the ballgame. He appeared last night. He had a very easy inning of work in his appearance yesterday. He only threw 8 pitches, and he was able to retire the side 1, 2, 3. He had a clean inning. He had no walks and 1 strikeout. So he is taking over here for the Orix Buffaloes in their half of the inning. Higgins, an American player, he never played in the big leagues, although he did get to AAA. He is going to be facing the 2, 3, 4 hitters scheduled in the Chiba batting order. It looks like there is a defensive change for the Orix Buffaloes in left field. Rangel Rivero is out of the game, and it's little wonder why. We were saying earlier that his defensive play was suspect at best. And the first pitch is a fastball delivered from Higgins, and it is attempted to bunt, but it is foul, and it is going to be a strike to the young center fielder Wada. So Rivero is out of the game, and it is Yuya Oda, new left fielder. So you can tell that Rivero is not here for his defense. He is definitely there for his offense. And there is a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is now 0-2 quickly to Wada. So Higgins has come out dealing. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Higgins kicks and delivers. There is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. As we mentioned, Higgins does not have any big league experience, but he had pitched in AAA. The 30-year-old Michigander, Pleasant High School in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-2. Mount Pleasant, if I'm not mistaken, is the home of Central Michigan University. I'd have to double check. That would be the Chippewas. Here's the 2-2, and there's a changeup swung on and missed. And Higgins has retired Wada on strikes for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the second baseman, Shogo Nakamura. Nakamura tonight is officially 1 for 2. He singled in the first. He had a sacrifice fly to drive in a run in the third, and he grounded to short his last time up. So 1 for 2 tonight. He is 5 for 17 in the playoffs. And here's the first pitch. It's a fastball. This is swung on. This ball is driven deep to left field. And this ball is gone. It's going to reach the seats. And Higgins has served up a 1-out shot to Shogo Nakamura. And Nakamura has now put the Chiba Lotte Marines back out in front. As we color in our scorebook here, 3-2 for the Marines in the top of the 8th inning, as they have broken the tie. An absolute missile. So Nakamura has snapped the deadlock, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Brandon Laird. And that was a no-doubter. That ball got out in a hurry. So the first pitch to Brandon Laird is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So Laird tonight, 0 for 2. He's got a walk. He was raced on a fielder's choice, and there is a base hit into left center field. That ball's going to get down in front of Fukuda. And Brandon Laird has his first hit of the ball game. And Chiba has something going still here in their half of the 8th inning. That's going to bring up the right fielder Katsuya Kakunaka. But it's also going to bring the interpreter and the pitching coach out to the mound to have a word with Tyler Higgins. Curious to see what they do here in this situation. I definitely would not be bunting the ball here. And the reason for that is that if they're bunting Laird over to second, which I don't think, well, they've got a pinch runner in now for Laird, so they are making some changes here. So I think if more than anything, I'd be thinking about trying to steal over to second base. This is Fujiwara, the pinch runner, in for Laird. Kyoto Fujiwara is the runner, and they're concerned they throw over to first base, and diving back is Fujiwara. So Fujiwara in to run for Laird. There will be a defensive replacement, one would think, in the next inning. Kyoto Fujiwara. And so here's the pitch, and it is tap foul over on the first base side. And the count is 0-1. Waiting on deck is Leonis Martin. He's waiting his turn. And there is a pitch. It's swung on and it's missed. We'd actually have a pinch hitter here for Kakanaka. This looks like it's Oka. Just do a double check on that. It is Hiromi Oka. Oka has been, I guess, for all intents and purposes, brutal at the plate. He is 1 for 12, and he swings through that one. And he has been retired on strikes for out number 2. I'm not sure what the rationale to pinch hit Kakanaka was. Kakanaka was 1 for 3 tonight. And he brought in Oka. I know you're going to need him for defensive purposes. But Hiromi Oka is retired, and that is going to bring up Leonis Martin. So Martin steps up to the plate with 2 away. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He scored a run in the 7th inning. There is a fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-0. Good heads-up base running by Leonis Martin last inning to advance to second base on a fly ball to left field. Great piece of base running by Martin, and he eventually came around to score, at that time, the tying run. So good heads-up baseball by Leonis Martin, and there's a fastball that misses in. And the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. So Tyler Higgins makes the mistake, and Nakamura makes him pay with that fastball up in the zone. There is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count runs now 3-0 to Leonis Martin. You got to be very careful with Martin. You don't want to throw him a cookie down the middle, because with 3-0, he has had green lights to swing. Seen him with Chiba a few times this year absolutely turn on 3-0s. And there's a pitch. It is a fastball that's down in the dirt, and Martin is aboard with a walk. And that is going to advance the base runner Fujiwara over to second. And that is going to bring up Edney Hechevarria to the plate. Hechevarria tonight is 0 for 3. He is 5 for 13 on the playoffs. But he's had himself some really, really clutch at bats. And this is one of those situations right now that they could use some insurance. So 5 for 13 in the series. So here comes the first pitch from Higgins. It's a fastball that's down in the dirt. The count is 1-0. I would think this might be Higgins' last hitter. If he can't get Hechevarria, they do have a left-handed stick in Fujioka waiting on deck. Curious to see if they stay with him. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. Higgins checks the runner at second. He delivers. It's a fastball. They appeal down to the first base umpire as Hechevarria checks his swing. They say he didn't go, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Hechevarria. The home run by Shogo Nakamura has broken the deadlock here in the 8th inning, and there is a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Higgins gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He delivers a fastball that is swung on and missed. And Hechavarria is now got the count evened up to 2-2 on him. That last pitch was a fastball at 95 miles an hour. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Higgins checks the runner at second. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded up the middle. It's fielded by the shortstop, Kirbiashi. He steps on the bag, and that is going to retire Martin at second. It's going to go down as a fielder's choice to 6 for the third out of the inning. But the damage has been done here in the top of the 8th. There was 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left the board. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 3, the Orix Buffaloes 2. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. There will be a pitching change coming up for the Chiba Lotte Marines, and we'll bring that back to you when we come back. Here's our friend Steve again.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day. And there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Once again, Steve, we thank you for your support. We appreciate it. And in turn, we'd like to support his channel, Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game. Well, it is a Shogo Nakamura home run in the top of the 8th inning. It is the difference in this ball game. And we have a 3-2 lead now for Chiba. And the Chiba Lotte Marines are going back to the bullpen. They do have some changes defensively. We'll have to catch those as they come to bat or as we get the report. But as Chihaya Sasaki, the right-hander, is now entering the game. And he is going to be taking over for Kuniyoshi, who was very adventurous in his inning of work. We do have a new first baseman and a new catcher for Chiba. And so, as we said, we'll have to get you those changes as they come about, and more specifically where they're going to fall into the batting order. Sometimes they may make a double switch, but I don't think that is going to be per se the case. We do have Adam Jones swinging the bat. And it looks like he is going to get an opportunity to hit here as a pinch hitter. It is supposed to be the catcher Kenya Wakatsuki coming to bat, but instead we are going to see Adam Jones get a chance to swing the bat here for the Orix Buffaloes. So Jones steps up to the plate here to lead off the 8th inning. And the first pitch from Chihaya Sasaki is a breaking ball swung on, and it is fouled away over on the first base side. The count is quickly 0-1 to Jones. One would have to think that this has got to be the twilight of Jones's career here. He had signed a 2-year deal with a 3rd-year option. I'm curious to know if the Buffaloes will exercise that option at the end of the season. The 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into center field. Coming in on it is the center fielder, Wada. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Jones 1 up and 1 away. And that is going to bring up the top of the order center fielder, Shuhei Fukuda. Sometimes it's a little bit sad later in the career to see a player and how that their career is coming to the end. Adam Jones, for those of you who don't know, was originally drafted out of high school as a shortstop. And of course, he played most of his big league career with the Baltimore Orioles after being acquired in a trade from the Mariners. And here comes the first pitch to Fukuda. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Fukuda tonight is 2 for 3. He has 2 singles. He's also scored a run. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. Is the breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. But back to Adam Jones for a moment. Jones was taken as that high school shortstop. They converted him into a center fielder. Of course, the majority of his career was played with the Baltimore Orioles before he had that one season in Arizona. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. But you can see the mobility of the player has significantly declined. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and it's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded up the middle. It's by the pitcher, and it's into center field, and Fukuda has his 3rd hit of the ball game. He is aboard with a 1-out single here in the bottom of the 8th. And that is going to bring up the 3rd baseman, Yuma Mune. Yuma Mune tonight was the story of the 6th inning. He hit the 2-run homer to put the Buffaloes back up in front. He has been responsible for both of their runs as he drove in Shuhei Fukuda, who had singled ahead of him his last time. He's officially 1 for 2 tonight. He's 2 for 9 in the series with the home run and a walk. He also had a sacrifice bunt back in the 4th inning. So a sac bunt and a home run. We do have a pinch runner for Fukuda. That's a little bit of an eyebrow raiser. So here we go. Here comes the pitch, and Sasaki fires it over to first base, and diving back in time is the pinch runner. We'll get you that in a moment. But it looks like it's Kodai Sano. So Kodai Sano into pinch run. And again, they throw over to first, and again, Sano goes diving back. Kodai Sano, of course, the youngster, 24 years old. He stole 8 bases this year on 10 attempts. He used quite a bit as a pinch runner. He's got a very healthy lead at first base. Again, Sasaki fires over, and again, getting back in time is Sano. So Mune waiting for the first pitch to him. They've thrown over 3 times already to first base. Here comes the pitch from Sasaki. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses inside. That would have been a good pitch to run on. So 1-0 to Mune. Mune batting from the left side. Looking to play the part of hero again. We thought they may have been able to seal the deal with that 2-run shot. But Chiba has been able to score in the 7th and the 8th innings to regain the lead. Here comes the pitch to Mune. It's a changeup that misses outside. And the count is 2-0 to Mune. So Sasaki rubs up the ball. He's getting ready to go back to work. Mune digs himself in at the batter's box. He's ready to face the right-handed slants. W. Vogs in the house says, listening while he's getting ready to go to work. Welcome, Will. So here's the 2-0 pitch. And again, they throw to first base. That's 4 times they've had to fire the ball over to first, and each time Sano goes diving back safely. So Sano gets his lead. Mune digs in at the plate. Sasaki again fires over to first, and again Sano diving back safely. That time it was a bang-bang play. It was very, very close. The tag was just a little bit high, just a little bit up the arm. So 2 balls and no strikes to Mune. The runner at first is the pinch runner, Sano. Sasaki holds at the chest. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner. And the count is now 2-1. So we are here in the bottom half of the 8th inning with the Buffaloes trailing 3-2. Sano again establishes his lead at first base. This has certainly been the longer of the 3 games. Sasaki kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. The runner was off to the races. Mune drives that one down. It goes into the temporary seating on the left field line. It's going to run the count to 2-2. Thank everybody for stopping in tonight to check out all the action. So here comes the 2-2 pitch to Mune. Mune digs himself in. Sasaki gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. And again, they throw over to first base. And again, diving back is the base runner, Sano. Keep the count. That would be about the 5th time. They really do want to get him in motion. This could be a strike him out, throw him out situation. That is, if you're a Chiba fan. Obviously, they want to get Sano into scoring position because you've got Masataka Yoshida waiting in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And that is a fastball, and it's swung on, and the runner was going on the pitch. That ball is fouled off on the first base side. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Obviously, Masataka Yoshida would be chomping at the bit to get to the plate here. Arguably the most dangerous hitter in the Orix batting order. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mune. Sasaki holds at the chest. And again, he fires over to first base. And again, Sano goes diving back. So Makoko asked the question. He says, is my under 7 safe? I don't think anything's safe right now. This game here could go either way. But we'll find out what happens in the next couple of hitters. So this time Sasaki steps off and fakes the throw over to first base. And Sano gets back standing up. He's thrown over at least a half a dozen times now over to first base. They're very concerned about the pinch runner. They certainly don't want to let him get into scoring position. With the heart of the order on its way up to face Chihaya Sasaki. The hobbyist is in the house today. Welcome. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. Is lifted over on the third base side. Fujioka has room. He's going to make the catch, and Mune is retired for the second out. So 2 away, and that is going to leave it all up to Masataka Yoshida. So Yoshida tonight is 0 for 3. He is 3 for 10 in the series with a walk. And if you want somebody at the plate, this is who you want at the dish. Hobbyist says he sees 8 watching. You've walked right in at crunch time here. This is an important part of the ball game. It's 3-2 for the Chiba Lotte Marines. The runner at first is the pinch runner Kodai Sano. And stepping up to the plate is Masataka Yoshida. Yoshida gets himself dug in. We're ready to go to work here. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball down. There goes the runner. Sano on his way to second, and the throw is not in time. And Sano has what they wanted, a stolen base. And he is now in scoring position. The throw was close. It was just a little bit slow on the exchange. It was a good jump by the base runner. So Sano is able to pick the base. They are going to go and have a look at it. But it looks like that, as far as I'm concerned, he made it in. But I think that the umpires are going to go. They're using the 6 umpires to officiate here. And 4 of the umpires are going in to have a look at it. I'm not sure why 4 have to go. You can see the throw. The throw gets to the base. The thing is that Hechavarria goes to the front of the bag. As he goes to the front of the bag, he makes the catch, and then he has to reach back and apply the tag to Sano. And I think this is going to be overturned. It looks like that he was able to tag the left knee of Sano before Sano's right foot gets to the bag. And if that happens, this inning is over. So we're going to come and see what the umpires have to decide on this one. I don't know what's taking them so long. I think that they're going to come back and rule Sano is out. But we just have to wait and see for their call here. And here comes the umpires. They're on their way back out, and they have ruled them safe. And so that is home cooking at its finest. And the catcher for the Chiba Lotte Marines, the other Toshiya Sato, he can't believe it. And I have to admit, I can't believe it either. So we are going to have a conference on the mound. The pitching coach is coming out to have a word with Sasaki. And the umpires are all around, and the players are hot. They are not happy with what's going on. So I'm not sure what is been said or what has been said, but they're out there to cool the pitcher down right now. So we have some excitement. Fred Gomes says, you're 0 for 3 on reviews. Yeah, Fred, welcome. Yeah, I'm not doing very good tonight. If you guys get a chance to see that one again, boy, I'd like to see the angle where that is at, because that is brutal. Or maybe I'm just brutal. Maybe I got to take my glasses off or put them back on, whatever it might be. But holy geez. Because that was certainly worth taking a look at. The throw was in front of the bag, but the tag was applied on the left knee of the base runner. And it looked like it got there before he impacted the bag. But again, I don't know what angles that the umpires have. So it's 1 ball and no strikes. On Masataka Yoshida, the runner at second is Sano, and we're ready to go back to work. And there's a fastball that misses down and away. And the count is now 2-0. So good to see that Fred Gomes is keeping score here for us. We appreciate you being in the house tonight. This is definitely crunch time. 2 balls and no strikes to the hitter, Masataka Yoshida. The tying runners at second. There is 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And here's the pitch. That is a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-0. And they're not going to waste any time. They've held up the 4 fingers in the dugout. And they're going to put Yoshida on. That is going to bring up Yutaro Sugimoto to the plate. So it's 3 balls and no strikes to Yoshida. The Chiba manager holds up the 4 fingers, and that moves the designated hitter Yoshida to first base. So we've got Sano at second, Yoshida at first. And that is going to bring up the right fielder Yutaro Sugimoto. And Julio Rodriguez is in the house, and he's predicting 4-3 coming. And he may be right. So Sugimoto tonight is 0 for 2. He struck out twice, and he was intentionally walked once. He is 3 for 8 in the series. He had a big home run last night. We do have a pinch runner for Yoshida. So they do have a runner for Yoshida at first base. But more importantly, it is Sugimoto at the plate. And here comes the first pitch from Sasaki. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded foul just past the first base bag. That would have stayed fair. That would have been trouble. Count is quickly 0-1 to Sugimoto. So Julio Rodriguez is predicting that the Buffaloes are going to win this game. Well, they're certainly in a position right now with the meat of the order. The cleanup hitter, Sugimoto at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away. And the count now even at 1-1 to Sugimoto. This is definitely the turning point of the ball game right here. This is as tough a situation that you could be in for a pitcher. The Marine fans are praying in the stands as they pan the crowd. They have their supporters are in prayer position. So here comes the 1-1 pitch, and it's a fastball, and that just misses off the outside corner. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. For those of you peeking at the out-of-town scoreboard, it is 2-2 between Yomiuri and the Occult Swallows. That game is in the top of the 9th inning. But we are here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Buffaloes are threatening. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Sugimoto has now had the count evened at 2-2 to him. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looming on deck is T. Okada. And the hobbyist says he's heading off to work, so thank you for checking in. And we're hoping we can bring you a great ending to this game for everybody else who sticks around. So here comes the 2-2 pitch to Sugimoto. Sasaki checks the runner, Sano at second. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is hammered foul down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats. We're going to do the 2-2 pitch all over again. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. Sasaki is about to throw his 21st pitch of the inning. It's not been an easy inning for the right-hander. So Sugimoto digs himself in. Sasaki is ready to go back to work. Catcher is bouncing around behind the hitter, and there's a breaking ball swung on, and this ball is lifted into the seats over well beyond first base. That was a breaking ball that was left up at the letters, and Sugimoto was able to fight it off and drive that ball into the stands. So there's 2 outs here, everybody. We've got the runners are at first and second. It's a 2-2 pitch to Sugimoto coming up. We welcome to all these people that are in the house. So here we go. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Sasaki kicks and delivers. And that is a breaking ball down in the dirt. It's blocked by Sato. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Sugimoto on strikes. It's going to go down as a strikeout, 2-3. So for the Orix Buffaloes in their half of the 8th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We're going to the top of the 9th inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 3, the Orix Buffaloes 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the top of the 9th inning. We're glad you could be here with us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Once again, Matt, we appreciate your support of the channel, and in turn, we like to support Matt's channel as well. Be sure to check out Another Hollis Build after the game. We do have a pitching change for the Orix Buffaloes coming in. It is going to be Hirotoshi Masui. He is taking over here in the top of the ninth inning. This is his fourth season with the Orix Buffaloes. He began his NPB career with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. There are changes in the lineup as Kodai Sano has taken over in center field. There has been a change behind the plate as well. And we'll get you that update as it becomes available. So Masui takes over. He is going to face the 8-9-1 hitters in the Chiba lineup. It's going to be Yudai Fujioka, and then it'll be Toshiya Sato and Takashi Ojino to get things going here in the ninth inning. So here comes the first pitch, and it is a fastball that just misses low. The count is 1-0 to Yudai Fujioka. Fujioka tonight is 0 for 3. He struck out his last time up. He's aligned to short and flown out to left. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. There is a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. Fujioka getting the nod again at third base. We got right-hander against the left-hander. Masui kicks and delivers, and there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. So 2-1. This is the seventh pitch of the ball game used tonight by the Buffaloes. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count now runs to 3-1 to the leadoff hitter here in the ninth inning, Fujioka. Chiba is looking for some insurance as they were able to take the lead on the home run by Shogo Nakamura in the eighth inning. There's a pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats beyond the third base dugout, and that is going to run the count full to 3-2. So 3-2. Thank everybody for stopping in tonight and tuning in. It's been an entertaining ball game for sure. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into deep center field. Moving over underneath it is the center fielder Sano. He's going to make the catch. That is going to retire Fujioka for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's scheduled to bring up the catcher, Toshiya Sato. They're shifting the outfielders around. The game at the Jinju Stadium between the Yomiuri Giants and the Yakult Swallows was now a final. That final score is 2-2. So that game has ended in a tie. So we're 3-2 here in the top of the ninth inning, and the first pitch from Masui is a fastball that misses off the outside corner. And the count is 1-0. So we do have a pinch hitter here for the Chiba Lotte Marines. It's a left-handed stick. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. Count now is 1-1. So we have Sui versus Yasuda. It's Hisanori Yasuda. Yasuda had got the start at third base in the first game of the series against the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. So Yasuda is pinch hitting here, and the count is 2-0, and there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into deep left field. Moving over underneath it is the left fielder Oda, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire the pinch hitter here, Yasuda. So 2 up and 2 away for the Marines, and that's going to leave it up to the top of the order, Takashi Ojino. For Ojino, he is 1 for 4 tonight. He singled and scored a run in the third inning, and he's popped out to the catcher, popped out to first, and flown out to right. So 1 for 4. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Masui goes back into the motion. He delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Ojino. Masui ready to go back to work. He delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Masui on in relief here in the 9th inning. He's ready to go back to work. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count now goes to 3-1 to Ojino. Just a reminder to those who are listening in, we will be back on the air again tomorrow. In the event there is a 4th game in this series, we do anticipate that there could possibly be game number 4. If the Chiba Lotte Marines can hang on here. And here comes the 3-1 pitch, and it's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul behind home plate on the first base side, and the count now is 3-2 to Ojino. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ojino gets himself dug in, and Masui gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and that is going to be ball 4. And Ojino is aboard with a 2-out walk. There's nothing worse than 2-out walks. And that's going to bring up the schedule to bring up the center fielder Kashiro Wada. And the brain trust for the Orix Buffaloes is on the phone to the bullpen, or at least calling. The bullpen is in behind the stands, but they're in making the call to find out what the situation is if they've got pitchers that are ready. So Wada steps up to the plate. He is 1 for 4 tonight. He doubled in the 3rd inning. He's flown to center. He's grounded to first, and he struck out his other times up. And Masui throws over to first, and diving back in time is Ojino. Ojino is a threat to run. He does have some wheels. So here comes the first pitch to Wada. It's a fastball swung on. It's tap foul over on the first base side. And the count is 0-1 to Wada. Wada will be followed by Shogo Nakamura should he find a way on base. Nakamura is looming in the on-deck circle. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to Wada. Masui kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. Check that. The count is 1-1. Better get the coffee going here tonight. We're in the 8th inning, and we're starting to fade a little bit here. So we've got 1 ball and 1 strike. On the hitter, Wada, there is 2 out. The runner on first is Ogino. So as Masui gets back onto the rubber, he flips it back over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Ogino. We're going to do the 1-1 pitch all over again. Masui gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and tap foul on the third base side of home plate. And that runs the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wada. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Masui ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Wada stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 3. And that is going to do it here in the top of the 9th inning for the Chiba Lotte Marines. They had no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is the Orix Buffaloes trailing the Chiba Lotte Marines 3-2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call, the bottom of the 9th inning, in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys are with us.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May, but you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Thanks again, Matt. Be sure to check out Matt Hollis and another Hollis build after the game. We have a pitching change for the Chiba Lotte Marines. It is their closer coming in to try to finish this one off. It is Naoya Masuda. Masuda on the season, he was 3-6 with a 2.24 ERA. He appeared in 67 ball games. He had 38 saves. He worked 64 and a third innings, allowing 15 walks and struck out 68. He is on in relief here to finish this one off. He had a very rough start to the season. We covered some of the games when he had faced the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. And, of course, he's been able to turn his season around after Chiba had some struggles in the early parts. But he is ready to take over here. He is going to be facing the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the batting order for Orix. It's going to be Tio Okada, Ryo Adachi, and then Yuya Oda scheduled to come to hit. So Okada tonight is 1 for 3. He singled and has struck out twice. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-1 to Okada. So Masuda, he can throw hard. He can bring it in there. But he doesn't have a lot of movement on his pitches. And sometimes the teams that we see can really sit on his pitches and battle and foul him off. He throws sometimes a lot of pitches in his inning of work. And here comes the 0-1. There's a fastball, and it's a check swing by Okada. He fouls it off into the netting just above the third base dugout. The count is now 0-2. The Buffalo fans are cheering their team on here. The way it's looking right now, we're destined for a Game 4 in this series tomorrow night. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Masuda kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-2 to Okada. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're here in the bottom of the 9th inning. There's nobody on. It's a 1-2 count to Okada. And Masuda ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball. This is swung on. It is lifted into right field. It's going to get down in front of the right fielder. And that is Oka, who is taken over there for Kakanaka. And Okada is aboard with a base knock here. So he's got a leadoff single to begin the 9th inning, and that is going to do it for him. We are going to get a pinch runner. The big fella has done his job. It was an excuse me base hit. He really stuck the bat out. I was able to reach out and pull it into right field. And he does his job. He gets a good round of applause from his teammates as he returns to the dugout. And his night is over. We'll see who they have pinch running. That is going to be number 36. That is Yamashi. And it looks like we may have potential for pinch hitters everywhere as Tongu has moved in on deck. So Ria Adachi is coming up to the plate. One would anticipate he is going to be squaring to bunt to try to get the runner over to second base. And sure enough, he is. And he squares to bunt, and it's not a good one. He fouls it off right at the feet at home plate. So no balls and 1 strike to Rio Adachi. So Orix here trying to get something going. And they're half of the bottom of the 9th. They got the runner at first, Yamashi. Adachi is the batter. He is looking like he's going to be squaring to bunt again. Nope, he pulls back and he swings, and it's grounded through the 6-hole into left field past Edney Hechevarria. And as a base hit, they've got runners now at first and second. Adachi with a single. And Yamashi has moved over to second. The tying run is on second. The go-ahead run is on first, and that is scheduled to bring up Yuya Oda. The third baseman, Yudai Fujioka, was right in, and they ripped the ball into the 6-hole. And the crowd is on their feet. The Buffaloes are cheering in their dugout. The Buffaloes are not dead yet, that's for sure. And they do have a conference at the mound as Masuda is there. And we have, it looks like a pinch hitter has moved in to bat. We'll get the announcement for him. It's going to be a left-handed stick. It looks like it's going to be, no, it's going to be Yuya Oda. It looks like right now he's going to be hitting for himself. So Oda entered the game for Rangel Rivero back in the top of the 8th inning. This is going to be his first at bat of the ball game. He was 1 for 15, if I'm seeing this correctly. He was 1 for 15 during the season. I can't believe it. Mainly used as a pinch runner and defensive replacement. He appeared in 101 games. He batted .067. He had 5 stolen bases, so you got to think that he is in a position where he's going to be bunting a ball here. And they do have now a full-on conference to the mound as the pitching coaches come out to talk to Masuda. So they've got to go through this situation. They've got runners at first and second. The conference on the mound is now over. And we're ready to get back to the live action here. So the runner at second is Yamashi. He's on to pinch run for Okada. Adachi is the runner at first, and Oda is the hitter, and you got to think he's already squaring around to bunt. And they check the runner back to second base, which is Yamashi. So they're in crunch time. The catcher has stepped up for Chiba to flash his signs for the defense. They want to run this situation. They definitely know we've got a bunt situation here. Kataro Kirbayashi, the shortstop, is waiting on deck. He has struck out all 3 times he's come to the plate tonight. And the first pitch, he squares to bunt. It's swung on. It's pulled down the right field line. It's actually going to get by the right fielder, Oda. It's into the corner. This ball game is over. The Orix Buffaloes have walked it off. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oda, 1 for 15 on the season. Smashes the ball down the right field line into the corner. And this game is all over. They have walked it off. He squared the bunt. He slashed as the corners were crashing. He was able to stay inside the bag. And that is going to do it. Unbelievable. The Chiba Lotte Marines are shell-shocked in Osaka. But that is going to do it. The final score, the Orix Buffaloes 4, the Chiba Lotte Marines 3, and an absolutely incredible ending to the ballgame. The right fielder, Hiromi Oka, was running hard to the foul line, and he couldn't cut it off. It scooted by him. They were for sure going to get 1 run. But as soon as that ball got by him into the corner, that was it. And for those of you who were there, 7 runs was the game. So everybody that was under 7.5 is definitely doing a fist pump because they're going to collect some money. Well, everybody, we appreciate you guys being here to listen to the ball game tonight. And that means the next time you're going to hear from us will be in the Japan series. And that will be starting sometime next week. We'll have to confirm on that on the North American times. Once again, you've listened to another Last Wraps Baseball video production. We hope you guys have a great night. We'll do a little recap here for you, and then we're going to call it a night. But thanks for stopping in with us. That was an absolutely exciting finish to this ball game. Your final score, the Orix Buffaloes walk it off with a 4-3 victory in the bottom of the 9th inning. Hopefully you guys can come on back and see us again next week when we do our stream again. TYN, Naea, Fred Gomes, all the others, Makoko, the Hobbyist, Will Voggs, everybody who stopped in tonight. We really appreciate y'all being here. Just a quick recap of the game. The Chiba Lotte Marines, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Orix Buffaloes, 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Your final score, the Orix Buffaloes 4-3. The win in relief is going to go to Asui. The loss and the blow and save goes to Masuda. And some irony in this, as the season began for Masuda, it's how it ended. Unfortunately for him, it was with a walk-off loss. Some clutch hitting by the Buffaloes in the 9th inning captured their victory. Their Cinderella story continues. they're going to have to wait to see who their opponent is. The Yakult Swallows and the Murray Giants played to a 2-2 tie tonight. And that game will be another one on for tomorrow. So once again, your final score, the Chiba Lotte Marines lose 4-3 to the Orix Buffaloes. Have a great night, everybody. We will catch you again later. And the question is am I on Instagram? We are on Instagram. We do our stuff there as well. So Roy Beard Clark asks, yes, we are. Makako says, thank you again for your time. We really appreciate it. We will see you guys in the Japan series. We're looking forward to it in another few days. So they are celebrating in Osaka. That is absolutely unbelievable. So hopefully you guys can come on and check us out. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. You'll know when we're on the air. Once again, it's been another Last Drafts Baseball video production. Have a great night, everybody. We appreciate you being here.